Ohio State, you're on.
All right, would you all please stand? Join with Councilman Williams and salute to our flag and country.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Remain standing for our prayer, please.
God of justice and mercy, thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for our city council and city leaders and the opportunity you have given them to serve the people of our city. Help them as our leaders and us as citizens to act with character and conviction, to listen with understanding and goodwill, to speak with wisdom and kindness. Give us all a spirit of service. Remind us that we are stewards of your authority. Guide us to be the people you need to make Guthrie a city that honors you. Help us see the humanity and dignity of those who disagree with us and to treat everyone with reverence your creation deserves. And finally, God, renew us with the strength of your presence and the joy of helping to build a community worthy of each resident and those who will visit this town. We ask this with confidence in your goodness and love. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor. Please be seated. Call to order our city council meeting of March 21st. Second item on the agenda is public comments, community announcements, and recognitions. We've got a proclamation that we would like to read, that I would like to read anyway. It's a proclamation for Vietnam Veterans Day, which is coming up at the end of this month. And I think before I read that proclamation, I'd like to have a couple groups stand up. First of all, would Vietnam era veterans that we are saluting today, please stand up. We salute you and honor you as heroes. Now, if you would sit for that group, I've got another group that I'd like to. Would you, men and ladies, please remain standing? Vietnam veterans and now, if there are any family members that have a Vietnam era veteran in their family tree, would you please stand up because you deserve our applause. Thank you very much. I'd like to go ahead then and officially do a proclamation. And would the Daughters of the American Revolution please come forward?
Can't pull it up. I'll try to I got 3-7, but I don't have to go back in here. Close it out. See
The DAR for a number of years has been instrumental in reminding all of us of this special day, Vietnam Veterans Day, again later on this month.
It's got two coming.
Again,
Those two. That's two, sorry. See if she maybe doesn't logged in yet.
Kim, are you the official photographer?
I tried several and I can't pull it up. I just go
All right, I'd like to
plug
go
in
ahead
home, goes in the internet, and then pulls that.
read this proclamation if I could.
that at all.
Whereas our nation prospers and endures because of the valor of generations of men and women who served and have served in military uniforms, defending our common ideals and values. And whereas the nation owes a debt of gratitude to the more than 2.7 million troops of Southeast Asia, and especially the over 58,000 Americans who made the ultimate sacrifice, and have their names etched in the black granite on the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. And whereas we pledge to remain unwaveringly in our support, care, and deep appreciation for our Vietnam War veterans and their families, many of whom still carry the scars of war, both seen and unseen. And whereas March 29, 1973 was the last day that U.S. servicemen were on the ground in Vietnam. And whereas in 2017, President Donald Trump signed the Vietnam War Veterans Recognition Act, designating March 29th as a day of national observance, honoring the men and women who served in Vietnam and throughout the world during the Vietnam era. And whereas we remain committed to acknowledging that we live in freedom because of the brave women and men who have served and are serving in the United States Armed Forces. Now therefore I, Stephen J. Gentling, Mayor of the City of Guthrie, do proclaim March 29th, 2023 as Vietnam Veterans Day, a day to commemorate and honor Oklahoma veterans, Vietnam veterans. Call upon the people of this city to join in support of the Vietnam Veterans Day by displaying the flag of the United States and demonstrating our patriotic spirit and admiration for these warriors and heroes. I have the pleasure of signing this proclamation. I'd like to present this to the chapter regent right here. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And then I would also, do we have a representative from the American Legion, Post 58? Commander, I'd like to present this proclamation to you, not only as a Vietnam veteran, but also as a commander of American Legion Post. And do we have a representative from the
Come on
VFW?
on, Guthrie.
Charlie.
That's thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And I'd like to present this to the VFW, again, for the representation of veterans, not only Vietnam, but all veterans, by both the American Legion and the VFW in our great city. Thank you, ladies. Always good to see you. And we have a announcement. Jamie Newton?
Yes.
You want to come and make your announcement, please?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I just wanted to let everyone know that on March 30th at 10 a.m. at the Guthrie Library, we will be having a welcome reception for our new library director. We'll have coffee and donuts, and the public is invited and welcome, and we hope to see a lot of you there. March 30th at 10 a.m. at the library. We'd like to welcome our new library director.
Very good, very good. And there will be food.
Coffee and donuts.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic. All right, very good. And I do have one more announcement. We have a VIP in the audience. Well, we have a lot of VIPs in the audience. But I'd like to introduce to many of you for the first time our soon-to-be city manager, Eddie Faulkner, who is over there trying to blend in with the wall. He'll be taking that reign of that responsibility later on this month, as the gentleman to his right, our left, Leroy, says he's going to.
Can I give him a standing ovation?
Not yet.
That Leroy Alsop will be retiring at the end of this month too, so there'll be a transition of that responsibility. But Eddie, welcome. Leroy, thank you. Item number 3 is our consent agenda. Consent agenda number A is approval of the minutes of the March 7th Public Works Authority meeting. And items B through Q are increases in the property leases that we have to various individuals and organizations at the airport. And as a part of that lease, there's a consumer price index amendment that causes the leases to go up if the consumer price index goes up by a certain amount, and it has. So I will read items B through Q. They are, again, all involved with the CPI amendment going up to the following owners or leasees of the land. Hangar 1, Glenn Crabtree with Crabtree Aircraft. Item number C, hangar ground lease number 3 with Barron Exploration Company. D is hangar ground lease number 4 to Blue Sky Flight Training.
Mayor, we don't need to read all that.
You all have read these?
Yeah, I've already
So
read
you're all
it.
good
Yes,
with it?
we're good with it. I'm
Well-
gonna make a motion to approve, actually.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you very much. That saved a lot of my voice. That would be approving items B through Q. And do you also include item A, which is the
Yes.
approval of the minutes? So we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items A through Q. Are there any questions? Submit your votes.
Sorry.
Long. That's okay. All votes are in?
See the votes. We have unanimous approval from those present to approve the consent agenda items A through Q. Item number 4, discussion and possible action to appoint an individual effective March 21st, 2023 to fill the vacant Ward 3 City Council and Guthrie Public Works Authority trustee positions for the balance of the current term and the next 4-year term that begins on May 1st, 2023. Do we have a member of the interview and selection committee, recommendation committee?
Yes.
Brian, are you speaking for them?
I can, or it doesn't matter. James, we interviewed all candidates and we came unanimous on Grant McGuire. And I'd like to put a motion forward to put Grant in that position.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Okay, we have a motion and a second to place Grant McGuire in that position vacated in Ward 3. Submit your votes.
All votes are in?
See the votes. Unanimous. So those present to approve the selection, nomination and selection of Grant McGuire to fill the remaining term in Ward 3, effective March 21st, and also the balance of that term and the next 4-year term beginning on May 1st, 2023. So
Leroy?
term going through May 1st, 2027.
I probably won't be here unless you go do this again next week. But a thought that you might think about is in the future, when there's a vacancy and you draw names out in the hat, automatically put the councilman from that ward that's still representing that ward on the committee, and then draw names out in the hat for the other 2 positions.
That's a good idea.
I just want to make note of that for future.
The good news is
That's why
Tracy wasn't that.
That's how it ended up, but that's good.
It worked out that way.
Worked out
but
that way.
think
Yeah, I agree.
It ought to be automatic, the representative from that ward is automatic on the committee, and
Yeah.
then draw for the other 2 spots.
Okay, all right. So, we've had the vote, and
Swearing in.
I have sworn.
Mr. McGuire, Aguirre, I'm sorry.
I always call him McGuire. Always.
Please raise your right hand. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Grant McGarry,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
the Constitution of the State of Oklahoma,
and and will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity, that I have not paid or contributed, either directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing to procure my nomination or election or appointment, except for necessary and proper expenses expressly authorized by law, that I have not knowingly violated any election law of the state
of Oklahoma,
or procured it to be done by others in my behalf, that I will not knowingly receive, directly or indirectly, any money or other valuable thing for the performance or non-performance of any act or duty pertaining to my office, other than the compensation allowed by law. And I further swear or affirm that I will not receive, use, or travel upon any free pass or on free transportation during my term of office.
Congratulations, Grant, and welcome to the team.
Thank you.
Item number 6, discussion possible action to confirm the mayor's nomination to appoint Carol Seed and Martha Turner to the Guthrie Parks Board for 2-year term through June 1st of 2025.
And technically, that should be June 3rd, because their term ends on the first city council meeting of June of the year that they go off of the board.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion with that change
So
of
moved.
June 3rd.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present, then, to approve the nomination of Carol Seed and Martha Turner to the Guthrie Parks Board for 2-year term through June 3rd, 2025. Item number 7, possible discussion, possible action to approve change order number 2 to the CDBG Water System Improvement Project, increasing the contract by $10,974 with Young Contracting. Leroy?
In Jenny's cover letter, it states that the change order number 2 in the amount of $10,974.40, and the existing 4-inch fire line serving the Goodwill facility was uncovered during the excavation for the new 18-inch water line. There was no apparent locator wire on that main. This line is required to be connected to the new 18-inch water main, and we all know when we do utility work under the ground, we always find something that's unexpected, and this is just one of those things that we have to address.
So motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion or questions? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present. Then to approve the change order number 2 to the CDBG Water System Improvement contract with Young Contracting. Item number 8, discussion and possible action to award a contract for the Oklahoma Department of Commerce Energy Efficiency Lighting Retrofit Grant Project. Leroy, are you taking that?
I will start out, and then we'll probably have Boss Lighting come up and make a presentation, answer some questions. We got a grant from the Department of Commerce for a LED lighting retrofit project. The grant was for just under $70,000, and our match was $20,000. It will be an LED lighting retrofit for City Hall, and this would include internal and external lighting, police department, animal shelter, fire department, public works complex, and the airport. We was awarded the grant on October 28th of last year. But unfortunately, like a lot of these grants, grants and all the red tape, we didn't get the green light to initiate the project until February 7th. The deadline to complete the project is June 30th of this year, so we kind of put us under a time crunch to get the project done once Department of Commerce released us to do the project. We checked with the Department of Commerce and they said on this particular grant there is no extension. So if we don't award it under the state contract, which Boss Lighting is under the state contract, it would require us going through this process to get free quotes, which would be fairly labor intensive because the way this is typically done is you receive energy audits from that company, various companies. But if you go bid it, you'd have to come up with set specs so they all did the same thing. So it would be a little bit consuming. Boss Lighting did a LED lighting retrofit at the water treatment plant about 7 years ago, about a year before I came here as city manager. There's been no problems to date with that. Boss Lighting is recognized by the Department of Commerce as a quality firm for these projects. The problem, and Boss may address this to some degree, we got two audits, one from Megawatt Partners and one from Boss Lighting, and they're not written in a format that makes it easy to compare them. For example, on Megawatts, they put the total number of lights, but that also includes the ones that we're not even touching. So you have to track those out to compare it, but there is some difference in the lighting. On the annual savings, it depends on whether you estimate that that facility will be open 50 hours a week, 50 weeks out of the year, or you're estimating that it's going to be open 24/7. That makes a difference in how you calculate the savings. So we're trying to get some clarification from Boss on some of these so we can compare the two better. So with that, I will stop and let Boss present to you, and then I will maybe have some recommendations when I get back.
Okay, who's the representative from Boss?
Good evening, Forrest McGee. Right. I did bring copies of the proposal if y'all would like.
Is that different than what's been attached? Okay, then we all have that.
Fantastic. Just a quick
He
background.
doesn't have it.
Sorry.
Our new guy doesn't have it.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So Boss began in 1939 in Lincoln, Nebraska, in Henry Voss's garage, and it's grown to 83 years to 15 locations. Voss does about $80 million a year in sales. Phillips Lighting is everything that was proposed in this project. Here just in Oklahoma, we've got about $850,000 in projects going on right now, very similar to the project for the city. And Voss does about $7-8 million a year just here in Oklahoma City. We've had the state contract about 30 of the last 40 years. Voss has been in Oklahoma about 40 years. So, any questions?
If you get this, can you get this done by June?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
We have our own electricians, and by the time the project is awarded, we will need, and this is required through OG&E and Clear Result, if we participate in the rebate program, they'll need a few weeks to pre-inspect the project, double check our calculations. We want that to be as accurate as possible. We say you're going to save $10,000 a year in your electric bill. We want that to be correct. Our electrician has said, we'd like to have a month. It's going to take a few weeks to finish City Hall, but they believe they can finish the fire department, the police station, animal shelter in those areas in a couple weeks.
The annual savings that you're projecting, is that just on the lights that you're retrofitting? Or, and I noticed that the other quote included a maintenance reduction as well as heating and air conditioning reduction.
We left the maintenance reduction off of the proposal to keep the numbers, you know, as, we try to be as conservative as possible. We like it when OG&E comes in and inspects and reruns the numbers, that we want that, most cases, that incentive or that rebate increases. But we left the maintenance numbers off of there. It'd be real easy to calculate how many less fluorescent bulbs you're going to buy over the next 15 years, how many less man hours. That can be added to that, but we left that off. We did include, that's part of the calculator that OG&E, you know, allows Voss to use, is the savings on your air conditioning. Because you're going to have, for example, 100 watts burning now per fixture. You're going to drop down to 29 watts per fixture burning and have the same light output. So they'll produce less heat. Same thing with your can lights in here. They will be switched out from, I believe, there's two 32-watt bulbs or 26-watt bulbs in each can, and those will be dropped down to 12 watts per can. That's just an example right here.
So the savings, let's see, of 16,000, was it a little over 16,000 annually? Do you have that? I believe it was 16,492 is what I wrote here in my notes.
Let's add it together.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
everything
They
together.
broke it out in their
Thank you,
proposal
Leroy.
by building.
That's the
all
total.
of that.
That's the total. Okay. So that's the savings from this retrofit
Yes, sir.
annually.
Yes,
So that's obviously a win for the community.
correct.
Yeah.
And our labor will be warranted for a year. So if Donna or Liz call us, or the new
Eddie?
guy in charge, Eddie, call us and say, hey, we've got lights out. The first year, the maintenance is covered. We send the guys out with new lights, they change them. Everything's warranted for 5 years. So the next 4 years, Liz or Donna, they call us and they've got lights out. We're 45 minutes away. We bring in those lights, we get those changed out.
Okay?
I did go over in detail with Liz, the wall packs, outside lights, and the lights we're gonna change in the hangar. LEDs don't like heat. So instead of just taking the ballast out and putting in an LED bulb in an outside fixture that gets really hot in the summer, we're changing that fixture to an LED fixture that's designed to be outside. So,
Very good. Other questions or comments?
Now, if we can just get him to fix all the other lights up.
Leroy, you had a comment.
Burned out.
My recommendation would be to award this, given the time constraint we're under. They are the state awarded state bid contract. And so we would recommend we award this project to Voss Lighting, subject to verification when OG&E does their follow-up that it's the same or better of what our saying.
Then I'll make a motion subject to OG&E coming in with a similar or better result.
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other discussion or questions? All right, submit your votes.
All votes are in.
Let's see the votes unanimous to approve the contract with the stipulation as identified in the motion to Voss Lighting and the state contract. Thank you.
thank you.
Item number 9, discussion and possible action to cancel the Tuesday, April 18th City Council meeting due to the Oklahoma 89er Day celebration Chuck Wagon Dinner. Leroy?
Traditionally, the city council has not met on the Tuesday that reunites and the Chuck Wagon Dinner. The last couple of years, that has not occurred, so we did have meetings. So we just wanted to put it on the agenda for you all to decide if you wanted to continue that tradition or if you want to meet that night.
I'll make a motion that we don't meet that night. because I got some things I gotta do anyway, so.
Don't need it to chuck wagon.
Yeah, that.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second then to cancel our regularly scheduled Tuesday, April 18th city council meeting. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
All votes are in.
See the votes, unanimous approval, then all those present to cancel the April 18th, 2023 city council meeting. Item number 10, city manager report.
I'm not going to go through this, but over the weekend, I did an update of the projects that we submitted to Congresswoman Vice based on input from their office for consideration for community project funding, which is another thing for earmark, and I attached a resolution, and in that spreadsheet, we went through all the projects, we showed the cost, and we showed additional funding opportunities if we did not receive the federal funding through the earmarking process. And then today, we had leadership Guthrie in town, and I updated the state of the city address to put some things in that was not, and I sent you all a PDF version. I sent it to
I went through it.
Grant as well. You should have got an email from me with both of those documents, if not, let me know. I also sent it to the news media, and I sent it to the two council candidates for Ward 1, so they would have it as well. So they should have gotten 2 emails from me. Okay. But I could read it.
No, you don't need
That's all
to.
right. No. That's all right. I think we'll pass on that one. Okay. Is that the end of the report?
That's it.
Okay. Item number 11 is comments from members of the city council. Councilman Williams.
No comment.
Councilman Taylor.
Thank you guys for coming up and giving us a kind of a heads up on what you're gonna do. I appreciate that very much. Staff, thank you. I know y'all don't get a lot of thanks. And Eddie, glad to have you here tonight. You get to see what we do or don't do. And Grant, welcome on the team.
Thank you.
Yes. I'm done.
Councilman Long.
Yeah, I just wanted to welcome Grant. Appreciate him applying, and congratulations for being on city council. I got one more meeting.
Is that all you got?
I got one more meeting. I've been on a countdown, brother. I got one meeting. So, and welcome Eddie. So.
Councilman Bothroyd.
Same, I welcome Grant to the council. Look forward to working with you. Eddie, looking forward to working with you. It'll be fun. And I do appreciate everything everybody does, and look forward to hearing some stuff from Dan's last meeting that he went to. And we'll go with that.
Okay. Councilman Aguri.
Thank you for, the opportunity to serve the citizens of Guthrie and the citizens of Ward 3. It's an honor. This is almost 25 years to the day from the first time I was elected to serve. So
There you go.
Welcome back.
took 25 years, but
Welcome back. I'd just like to make everybody aware that we do have some vacancies on some of our boards and commissions, and so I'd like you to consider applying through our city website. We have vacancies, either existing vacancies or upcoming terms that are soon to be expiring on the Board of Adjustments, the Airport Board, Library Board, Historic Preservation Commission, and the Planning Commission. So if you have any...
Are any of those not meeting because they don't have enough?
Well, the Parks Board.
The
has
Parks
not been
Board
meeting.
has...
Now they do have enough.
Yes, with the two that we just approved, they do. But they have had some trouble with getting a quorum there, just the parks. But that should be resolved. But certainly would appreciate individuals that want to get more directly involved in an advisory capacity to the direction that your community is going. That's a number of different types of boards and commissions and a variety of backgrounds that would be appropriate. So please consider that if you would. Again, Board of Adjustments, the Airport Board, Library Board, Historic Preservation, and Planning Commission. So need your help. Get on the website, application's right there, get it submitted. That would be really, 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 really great. We've got, at the end of this week, we've got the Renaissance Fair over at the Flats. Should be another exciting weekend for us, one of the many festivals that we have in the community. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, go be a part of it. I think the weather looks like it's going to be good. Somebody told me that Justin was going to be a jouster.
A jouster?
Is that? And I didn't even know you rode a horse, Justin. Oh, he's going to do it on a bike? That could. But anyway, they have an awful lot of Renaissance-type activities going on. Again, bringing a number of people to our community, and should be a fun time for all. With that, I will adjourn our city council meeting and call to order our Guthrie Public Works Authority meeting of March 21st. The second item on the agenda is the consent agenda, item A, which is the approval of the minutes of March 7th, Public Works Authority meeting.
So moved.
Have a motion?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Submit your votes, please.
I'll vote Strand.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to approve consent agenda item A. Item number 3, discussion and possible action, resolution 2023-23, revising the Logan Rural Water and the sewer and solid waste management for District Number 1, water rates effective from and including the utility billing date of April 15th, 2023. Leroy?
Similar to what we did with the airport hangars in our utility rate structure, every year there is an automatic adjustment based on the percentage increase in the consumer price index. And Kim calculates that, I double check it, and so this resolution would put in effect that percentage increase for rural water, their water rates. And the next resolution is basically the same thing, doing that for Langston University.
Okay.
So moved.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
I'll vote Strand.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to approve resolution number 2023-23, revising the Logan Rural Water rates. Item number 4, discussion and possible action on resolution 2023-24, revising the Langston University water rates effective on the billing dates of June 30th, 2023. Leroy has explained the same CPI applies.
So moved.
Second.
Any other discussion? Submit your votes.
I'll vote Strand.
See the votes. Unanimous approval then from those councilmen present to approve the resolution 2023-24, revising Langston University water rates. Item number 5, similar to the city council meeting, discussion and possible action to cancel Tuesday, April 18th, Public Works Authority meeting due to the 89ers Chuck Wagon dinner.
So moved.
Have a motion, is there a second? Have a motion and a second, any discussion? Submit your votes.
I'll vote Strand.
See the votes. Unanimous approval from those present then to cancel our Tuesday, April 18th, 2023 Public Works Authority meeting. That being the last item on the agenda.
That's it. Camera.
We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming, being a part. Eddie, welcome.